Good morning. Another planting project is underway. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and this bed behind me is actually at the rental house, which is located next to the greenhouse. And in this bed, we are doing some trials of the 2025 shrubs, along with a few of our favorite varieties that we just haven't been able to find a space for yet. And also, we're doing some azalea trials as well. We are a zone 6A, and we're not sure how hardy they are in our area. So we want to make sure that we're able to do a test out in our own gardens to see if they overwinter from year to year. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of the beautiful shrubs that are in this garden. New for 2025 is the Glow Pop Japanese Holly. Look at this beautiful new growth on it, kind of a yellowy chartreusey green. You know how I love incorporating foliage color into the garden. And let's take a closer look here at the details as far as how big this particular shrub gets. So it's for full sun to part shade locations, zones 5B to 8. It gets 2 to 3 foot tall and wide, so kind of a nice compact shrub. It's an evergreen, so this is just going to really be kind of a nice anchor here at the end of the property, giving some color all season long. Then next we have one of our favorite of all time roses. This is the At Last rose. We have a lot of At Last roses throughout our gardens, not only at our home, but also here at the greenhouse. At Last rose features beautiful, fragrant peach blooms that blooms nearly all summer long. Hardy in zones 5 to 9, it gets 3 to 5 foot tall and 3 to 5 foot wide. It likes to be planted in full sun locations. Super fragrant, large, beautiful, robust flowers. The At Last rose is definitely a Garden Crossings favorite. Here we have an aronia, and this one is called Lowscape Fire. Let's take a look at the details here. So aronia Lowscape Fire. Aronia Lowscape Fire is hardy in zones 3 to 9, so a super hardy shrub, 3 to 4 foot tall, 3 to 4 foot wide. In the early summer or late spring, it gets beautiful white clusters of flowers all over it. Super pretty, and it's also a native shrub. We'll have to call this the rose garden for the amount of roses I'm seeing Rod's got laid out here. Here we have the Oh So Easy Lemon Zest. Oh So Easy Lemon Zest features bright lemony yellow blooms, and let's take a look at its details. So when the gardeners come out here, they're going to do some deadheading, cutting off some of these spent blooms, and this will be blooming in no time because I'm already seeing some fresh buds emerging. Lemon Zest is hardy in zones 4 to 9. It gets 2 to 3 foot tall and likes to be grown in full sun. This is considered a continuous blooming rose throughout the summer with its beautiful yellow flowers. The new dogwood for 2025 is called Sergeant Pepper. This features beautiful variegated foliage, the green and the white, and then on the edge of the leaves, it's just kissed a little bit with a light blush coloration. Sergeant Pepper is going to be beautiful in the winter once it drops all its leaves and reveals the beautiful bright red sticks that will remain. So this plant not only has beautiful summer interest, it also has beautiful fall and winter coloration as well. We'll put the details up on the screen because the tag was not included with this particular plant. Another Oh So Easy rose, Oh So Easy Urban Legend. Urban Legend features single red flowers. And we're going to update you on this garden bed as it continues to fill out and grow and actually has things in flower. But Urban Legend is hardy in zones 4 to 9, 2.5 to 3 foot tall and wide for full sun. Great for borders and containers and mass plantings. So we'll update you on the beautiful blooms of that throughout the summer when it starts to rebloom again. Another new shrub for 2025, and I think this is again a Glow Pop. So the beautiful evergreen foliage of Glow Pop, this plant was about 3 foot tall, 3 foot wide. So we're going to have some evergreen staples kind of balanced throughout in this garden bed. So that way when winter comes, it's not totally all or nothing, all in the summer and nothing in the winter. So we're going to have foliage interest with our evergreens. We're going to have beautiful interest from the sticks with the cornice. So that'll really create a beautiful look in this garden, even in the off season. Another At Last rose. Reblooming dark purple. We love our Reblooming lilacs. Reblooming lilacs are reblooming lilacs, so they bloom a couple times, 2-3 times throughout the summer. This one has already been in full bloom, and as you can see, it's starting to put on a few more flowers. And that's what you'll see with the Reblooming lilacs, is their first flush of flowers in the spring are going to be the most prolific, most vibrant, but throughout the summer you're going to get what I like to call kind of spitter spatter blooms. And anytime you can get a lilac to bloom more than once, that's a win in my book. So let's take a look at the details of Reblooming dark purple. This is going to be hardy in zones 3 to 7, 4 to 6 foot tall, and 4 to 6 foot wide. Likes to be planted in full sun. Now most of these shrubs that we're looking at do say that they like to be planted in moderate to moist locations, and this area here is on underground, so it will get watered regularly. So here's one of the Perfecto Mundo coral azaleas. This is a plant we're doing a trial on. We love this plant when it's blooming in the greenhouse. Beautiful coral blooms, but it's a zone 6. We're a zone 6A here in Michigan. Just got bumped up from a 5B. And in the past, the bloomathon azaleas we used to grow, they never overwintered well for us here. So we're going to give these Perfecto Mundos a try. That way when a customer comes in and says, how do these do here in Michigan? We can honestly say in our trials, they've done great, or if they don't, well, we'll let people know that as well. But this has been one of those shrubs we've been a little hesitant in saying, you know, is great for Michigan. So by doing a trial, we'll know exactly if it does well or not here at the greenhouse. So Perfecto Mundo Epic Coral, beautiful spring coral blooms, hardy in zones 6 to 9, 3 to 4 foot tall, and 3 to 4 foot wide. Likes to be planted in fertile, well-drained acidic soil. This is a full sun to part shade shrub, great for borders and woodland gardens. So we're going to really see if we love this in our own landscape. The other thing that's great about this azalea is it's a reblooming azalea. So like the reblooming lilac, we're not only going to get one flush of flowers, which this plant has already flowered in the greenhouse about a month or two ago, but I'm already starting to see some buds starting to be formed on this plant. So there's already a second round of flowers just waiting to happen. So once this comes into its second bloom cycle, we're going to get out here and show you what those flowers look like. So this is my son's garden bed, and so he wanted to add his own decor. He's kind of a John Deere guy, so this was something he purchased at an auction. And then as we continue down, there's an old piece of John Deere equipment that he found when we were cleaning up the land in the northern Michigan garden. So this is kind of going to be called John Deere Alley. Another Perfecto Mundo coral rose on the opposite side of the implement. So again, we've got two of them. We'll be able to watch and see how they do. Here we have a reminiscent crema rose. This is a beautiful white flowering rose, part of the reminiscent series. I found a tag. I was wondering where it was. So reminiscent crema. Reminiscent crema is hardy in zones 4 to 9, 1.5 to 3 foot tall, and likes to be grown in full sun locations. Beautiful white rose. So this one here, I think last year, maybe 2 years ago actually, was the first year we had the reminiscent crema, and every time there was a flower in the garden center, we just absolutely oohed and ahed over it because it was such a large, beautiful, fragrant white rose. It was super stunning, and whenever this thing came into bloom, people were grabbing them off the shelf like they were the next best thing. And to be honest, I think they are a very great rose. Durvilla, this is the Kodiak Red 2.0, which is a upgraded or a better version of Kodiak Red. This is a Durvilla that likes to be grown in full sun to full shade locations. This is probably the most versatile shrub out in this garden bed. It's native, it's deer resistant. The more sun it gets, the more vibrant we're going to see the new growth, which is what we're seeing here with the red tips. And actually there's even a few flowers here with those yellow flowers. The flowers, in my opinion, aren't super significant, but they do look pretty. They're just a little added something to this shrub. So if you are definitely having some issues with deer or just not knowing what to put because you've got clay soil or just rough conditions, the Durvilla is very tolerant of kind of just about anything and anywhere. Rod's behind me placing some annuals. So we're going to be getting some sun-credible sunflowers that are going to get placed at all of the posts here along the flower bed line. So you can't have a bed without some annuals, because your annuals are giving you consistent color throughout the summer. So there he is, getting them all placed and ready. Another Perfecto Mundo azalea. So this is going to be great. We're going to have plenty of azaleas in here. So it's not just one shrub we're going to be watching. We're going to be watching many shrubs to see, you know, if we've got 3 or 4 of them planted, how many of the 3 or 4 did well and came back. So it looks like we're getting here into a little bit of repetition with the lemon zest rose. All right, another Sergeant Pepper dogwood. And actually here is a tag, so we'll be able to get you the information. So Sergeant Pepper is hardy in zones 3 to 7, 4 to 6 foot tall, 6 to 8 foot wide. Likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations. This is also a native shrub with its red stems in the winter and its beautiful variegated foliage here for the rest of the season. So Sergeant Pepper, I'm really excited for this. And I said to Rod, over in the bed there in the far background with a birch tree, we've got a yellow cornice. And I said, you know, maybe we should pull out the yellow and put one of these there as well. So we'll see if that happens. Maybe now that we've got 2 of them planted in this bed, he'll just leave the yellow over there. But yeah, love the red twig dogwoods for the winter interest, and I like cutting the flowers for my porch pots as well. Senorita rose, kind of another one of those soft kind of salmon orange color roses. 5 to 9 is its hardiness. 3 to 4 foot tall, so just a little bit taller. Likes to be planted in full sun. Great for borders, containers, depending on where you're gardening from. This might be a nice container plant for you as well. And all of the roses in the Proven Winner collection have been bred for excellent disease resistance. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at the Proven Winner roses. Another lilac here. Let's see if this is just a bloomerang dark purple or if it's something different. A lot of these have tags on them, some of them don't. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, this is another bloomerang dark purple. So we've talked about that one already. But that's going to be really pretty too with its spring blooms. So when laying out this garden, they kept in mind of keeping color from, you know, early season with the lilacs that are going to be the earliest to bloom, and then carrying it through with roses that bloom throughout the summer, and then the winter interest with the dogwoods and the hollies. So this will be a fun space to watch as it continues to fill out and grow, and we'll be sure to keep you updated as things start to change and put on more color and more interest. Looks like right now Rod and Logan are getting the front lined up with the Selenia yellow begonias, so that is surely going to add a nice splash of color consistently throughout this bed while we're waiting for these shrubs to grow into their own and to put on their flowers. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi, Rod, and Logan from Garden Crossings.